welcome to yet another exciting episode of ET Studios AI Horizons in association with ETCIO. Usually we take a closer look at how AI is disrupting a particular industry, but today we're actually spotlighting an AI mentor. Meet Ramesh Rajini, who is a senior principal consultant learning at Infosys. She's a cloud and AI coach. She's a Nasscom mentor and a Google Women Tech Maker ambassador as well. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Shilpa, for having me here. And whatever perspectives that I'm sharing will be my personal mentoring experience. Doesn't represent anything for my company.
Absolutely. So her views are hers alone and not those of our employer. Thank you so much for joining us today. And, I was saying how usually we are delving deep into AI disrupting a particular industry. Now, you are mentoring a lot of professionals who are going ahead to do these disruptions, and then we later feature these very individuals on our shows. To start off with, I want to know, there's a huge skill gap in the industry today. According to a report by Nasscom and BCG, it is projected that the AI market in India is approximately going to be USD $17 billion by the year of 2027. To address the need of this market, how are professionals upskilling themselves? And especially since you're a mentor, I would love to know from you, what are the most sought after certifications?
So certification with respect to AI is it's rapidly evolving industry, and the tech itself is rapidly evolving. So whatever is relevant today may not be the same in the next week, right? Because a lot of things which keeps coming up in the market. So the cloud perspective, whatever I'm trying to give you is there are some hyperscalers like AWS and Azure who has come up with certifications, right? AI practitioner certification. There are some learning paths curated. However, not all hyperscalers are there in the market who are yet ready to get the certifications there. But Google has something called skill badges. So cloud skill badges and AI skill badges. So that is something which will help them learn, go through the process continuously. It's not just oriented with certification, but then be ready for the market, right? So whatever in terms of the hands-on labs and all that they will give you with the platform and all. So it's just that you need to invest your time and energy to upskill yourself, stay relevant. And when the certification gets launched, probably the AI, it's continuously evolving. So when they are launching it, maybe they'll have to take it. But then don't wait for the certification to get launched. It's always you need to start learning and then keep yourself train with the industry trends and all the models and all that. So AWS has it already and Azure has it, and Google is having their cloud badges, skill badges and all. So maybe they will also come up in the certification space. So
earlier you were a cloud coach, and now with the entry of AI, there is no sole existence of cloud without the coupling of AI, right? It has vastly enhanced the cloud as well. Correct. Talk to us about the integration of AI into the cloud and how you see the way forward.
I see AI is like a pair with every other technology, right? It can gel well with big data, and it can gel well with cloud. So basically, I feel cloud and AI is like a technical digital twin, right? It's nice. Cloud is there, AI is there, big data is there. All the technologies will be there as is, but probably something like I feel AI will be like a catalyst, right? So cloud is doing its job, but then AI will add on to whatever we were doing it, how we were doing. That is something which will change. Whereas what we do still remain the same, right? The AI technology will help us do things differently, do things efficiently, whereas it is just like a pair up with the same technology, right? The cloud is existing, big data, any other analytics, data analytics and all that. So it's just a pairing up with the existing infrastructure. It could be, anything on the platforms and products and services.
Now, a lot of people fear that with the entry of AI, people are going to stop learning because AI is going to spoon feed them with everything. Being a mentor in this space for over 15 years, do you actually find AI making people smarter or making them lazier?
It's I hear this often because every time the mentee comes back saying, ma'am, will I be replaced, right? So will AI replace me kind? So typically it's not like AI replacing you, but it's more like people who know AI will replace you. It's the faster you get into that AI space, whatever it could be, right? It can be as simple as, it's the moment you get a calculator, you're not replacing a mathematician there. So similarly, whenever you have a kind of AI tool, it's basically a tool. It's not like a replacement. Human cannot be replaced, right? It's like a tool. So whenever you want to use a AI as a tool, right? So you need to understand the nitty-gritties that you will be using in that space. Probably we are doing some Excel reporting, right? So how efficiently can you make that happen with the power of AI integrated? So that is something which we need to understand. It's not like AI is going to replace you all the time, but how efficiently can we scale up to that level and then make things faster, right? So that is what it matters. And mentees have this. I mean, even as a mentor, I feel maybe there's one AI robotics thing which will come up and then it can replace us, but it doesn't happen that way, right? It's always a human element and the AI coming into picture together, right? That empathy, that understanding, that personalized connections that you want to make, all that happens with the AI. But the human intervention should be there.
Especially when you take a look at coding, when you take a look at Python, for instance, is it true that now even those with basic coding skills can match up to those who are expert coders? And what does this mean for those who are naturally adept at a coding language or at a skill?
So when it comes to coding, Shilpa, it's more like AI is already doing its job, right? So you don't have to really learn the language of Python or language of coding. It's like the prompt engineering itself has become the language of code, right? So it can generate a lot of things for us. You don't have to really learn those skills, but then when you have it as a learnability, and then you have that skills already, so you know where to troubleshoot, right? So when AI is giving you that piece of code where we have low code, no code and all, AI is already generating code for you. But that skill, if you already know Python, for instance, right? So you know where to troubleshoot if this is not going well. AI can help you do explainable way, but the human intervention of, where is this getting wrong? Where is it not relying on my input and then giving me something? Like we term it as hallucinations, right? So where is it actually hallucinating and giving me the code? So those things is something which we can quickly, learn and then fix it. So that is where the skills will be there, relevant. However, you cannot rely completely on AI as well. So, right, you need to tailor make it and then do some modifications. So learnability as a skill will be there, but how do you adapt quickly and then take it forward is what matters the most.
Right. And also, how accessible has AI made technology for people? With the entry of AI, has it become more cost effective, and has the dissemination of technology been easier?
Definitely it is, because earlier it was all like classroom based sessions, and then it's like a one size fit whatever mentor knows. They used to teach them and all. It was like more of a classroom based learning. But now with the global collaboration that we do on the virtual learning platforms and all, it's not like a classroom based learning. We do have classroom based learning with all the hands on setups and all, but then once we move to AI, right, the scale is more, right? It's like very scalable, and then it is more rapidly reaching the masses, right? So anyone in the any corner of the world, they should be able to access the platforms very frequently and at their own pace, right? You don't have to stick to a 9 to 5 classroom based sessions. So it can be like, whenever you are comfortable learning. So that can happen, right? The learning at your own pace and learning in a bite-sized module. You don't have to really go through the complete course at a stretch, right? So bite-sized learning can help them tailor make their needs, right? And you just have something like knowledge graphs with the power of AI, where let's say you pick up some topic, right? Maybe data analytics. So you don't know what are the connected nodes of data analytics. So you just pick up that node, and then from there, what are the different connected nodes? What is it that you need to focus on, right? Emphasize on. So that is something which will be generated directly visually with the help of AI. And then you don't have to really look for a lot of courses, which is like too much in the market, right? A lot of times mentees come back saying there's so much in the market, like where do I get started, right? So what's the starting point? So starting point, AI will definitely help, because you know that, okay, I need to get into cybersecurity space. So what is the starting point? We can take the help of AI tool, where is the basic foundation. So whatever you learn, I think the strong foundation of the core skills, right? So that is what it matters the most. So from there on, you can take, right? So technical knowledge is something which you can take up at any level. It's like even baby boomers I have as my mentors, right? So sometimes they feel like, I'm not tech savvy and AI savvy and all, but will I be able to do this? So just that the starting point and what is the learning path, if you can curate that for them, from there on, AI and the mentor help together, it will pair up well and then they can take it forward.
You also mentor a lot of women. How does AI help to bridge the gap when women are entering tech or perhaps trying to advance in tech? Is it making it easier for them?
Yeah, so primarily with women, what happens is like, they have a lot of priorities that they need to balance the work and family. It's not like women only do it, men also do it. But then they have a little more priorities and then they'll have to cater to many needs of the family, especially in Indian culture that we have. So whenever these platforms comes into picture, right, there are a lot of times where companies nominate people, but then they don't have the matching skill set, right? So they would have gone through something back in their career, but then currently what is the trend and who is the mentor aligned to it? So with my work at Nasscom, Women Wizards Rule Tech, right? It's more of the mentor-mentee matching that happens in the platform. They have a platform called Future Skills. So mentor-mentee matching happens, a skill set match happens, and then they will be aligned depending on their expertise level, right? So where you're at a beginner level, so maybe this learning path will be curated. Most of the times it happens that they go to a certain level, they get nominated for a program, but during the path they figure out that it's not for me, maybe I need to go back to the basics and then learn. So that much of time investment is already gone. But then later they realize, so that is something which we as women, we can't afford, right? So we go into a particular path and then take a break there, and then due to a lot of factors it may get deviated, saying maybe this is not for me. You get that bias and then you get that self doubt, right? Where is it for me, or am I not be able to I'm not able to give the best kind of thing. So we don't want that gap to impact their learning. So AI can help us do that skill badge matching, right? Whether it's like this is the skill set that they have and this is the platform that they need to use and this is the kind of technology that they need to learn. So that matching, if it happens properly, if the start is right, I think the end will definitely be right. So the path will always be smoother if that kind of gap analysis is being done, and then they are directed in a correct way.
So earlier, I feel before this skill badge matching was done, as a mentor, did you have to do it? Did you have to analyze people's skills and match them?
Yeah, definitely. Because it was like, especially when you have a group of mentees, right? So you don't know like what is it that matches them. So the personalized learning path was not there. We just go with an assumption saying, okay, these are the prerequisites that you come for the particular course. And then we assume that, you have gone through the prerequisites and then we take it from there as a mentor. But a lot of times that will not be the case, right? Though we have given the prerequisite, probably they would have not gone through the prerequisites, or maybe even before the prerequisites, they would have some kind of inhibition saying maybe I'll be able to step up, or, will I be able to do the hands-on labs and all that. So that gap is definitely being solved with the help of AI, right? You can have the personalized learning path at your own pace. Let's say there is a mentee who is not able to complete her exercise or his exercise on time, a particular time, right? We can easily analyze that. Predictive analysis comes into picture, and then we may figure out, what is a frequently answered set of questions, or some exercises are not being touched at all, thinking that the problem statement itself is like very scary. They don't touch that exercise at all. So we can really make out that, okay, this particular question is having some problem, right? Because it's not like attempted at all. So the accuracy percentage of a particular question, if too many people are answering correctly, or if some question is not being answered at all, right? Not being attempted at all. So all those analysis we can easily make. And even before I step into the classroom or I step into the virtual, instructor-led training, I'll be able to do that analysis and then take a call saying, okay, this is the skill set of the particular, mentee, or maybe the classroom, whatever set that we have, the cohort that we have. And then you take it from there. Otherwise, it will be like a total disconnect between the mentee and the mentor, right? They feel lost.
Yeah.
And some of them, they don't be vocal also. They'll just keep quiet thinking, oh, what if she thinks something, or what
Okay.
if I ask question,
Yeah.
it will not be taken in a positive sense at all. So that gap is definitely reduced with the help of AI.
Thank you for explaining to us how AI is positively impacting the experience for both the mentor and
Mentor
the
and
mentee.
mentee.
Wow, that's a very holistic
Yeah.
outlook indeed. Don't forget to brand yourself, remember to be focused, and also continuous learning is a must if you
Yeah.
want to excel in your field. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I think it's going to be very useful for those who not only want to upskill themselves in AI, but also for those who are trying to figure out exactly how to branch out into AI from a technological standpoint. I think this has been extremely useful for them, a mentorship masterclass for them. So thank you for joining us today and giving us your valuable time.
Thanks, Shilpa, for having me here. I enjoyed this whole conversation.
Thank you. It was extremely candid and we learned from your experiences. And for more such inspirational talks from thought leaders such as Rajni, remember to stay tuned to AI Horizon.